Coming to you straight from Indianapolis, aka the Circle City, this is the Taking Back You Momcast. The Taking Back You Momcast is a witty, authentic, and sometimes sarcastic podcast for millennial mamas who are in the thick of mom life. And I'm your host, Dani Carter-Iddens, wife, millennial mama, motivational speaker, and motherhood advocate. Hello. This is the Taking Back You Momcast. I am Dani Carter-Iddens, and this week, you guys, we have such a great episode. There was so much fun that went into filming this episode. We are being joined by a special guest. Her name is Mary Bates, and she is an accountability coach who just started her own new company. It's called Zen by Design, where she is the CEO, boss babe. You guys, just wait till you hear our interview that we did. She is something else. I really love her energy. I love everything about her, and she is just so smart when it comes to being Zen. She's a military wife. She's a mom of 4. You guys, she's one of our people. So listen, I just enjoy this interview, okay? She joined me a few days ago, and I'm sharing it with you right now. She's going to tell us all about how to stay Zen over the holidays, because we need that. We need to figure out how to not hurt the people in our families over the holidays. So I hope you enjoy this interview, and I'll be back at the end to just give you a little bit more information. Mary, just thank you so much for coming on today. And you are an accountability coach. So why don't you go ahead and explain kind of what that is for people who are like, okay, what's an accountability coach? I don't know what that is.
Perfect. Okay. So a couple of months ago, I actually started working with a company called Habit Nest. And they make amazing journals, and they sell them on Amazon. They're actually like voted #1. And they wanted to branch out. So they brought me on as an accountability coach, basically. And titled it Accountability Nest. And we took off running, and I loved it. It was so amazing. I got to talk and meet with so many different types of people all over the world. And I say world because I mean I had clients that were in Australia. I had some that were in England. It was limitless. And basically the program, it just you define your goals. And we as individuals and human beings, we are our own worst enemies when it comes to setting goals for ourselves, making ourselves accountable. And we don't put enough time in ourselves. I mean, it's point blank. That's what we do. We don't invest enough time in ourselves. And what I basically do for my clients are create a custom plan. And it could be text messages, phone calls, using WhatsApp, doing video calls, whatever it could be. But it's customized to each person. So basically, it would be like a morning phone call. It could be a text message in the afternoon, another text message in the evening. And basically, it's just checking in on you to see how you are accomplishing your goals for the day. So if you say, let's just say you want to commit yourself to working out, or you want to commit yourself to doing 15 minutes on the treadmill or something like that. So you would tell me your goals, and I check in with you every day, whatever your desired method is. And believe it or not, people respond very well to this. Like, it's
Awesome.
not, I mean, it's just, it's amazing because it's almost like, I mean, my clients have told me that they don't know why that it just helps to know that you've got somebody in your corner, and that you're not only accountable for yourself, but somebody else is holding you accountable as well. So I mean, I've had clients that were, on the program for, a month all the way to 6 months. There's no limit on, what goals you can set, and people's goals change. And the thing that I love about being an accountability coach is watching people grow into amazing people that they already are. They just either lack the self, confidence, or the self-esteem. And when they accomplish goals, they get this like inspiration, and they become like this person that they never thought they could be. And it's so amazing. Like, it really is just amazing on what you can get out of this opportunity. And that's why I love this. I love that I'm able to do this. And I love people in general. I mean, my background and my history is, education. Well, my education is in social sciences and psychology. I love how people think. I love um, you know, how we view people, and I like reading people. But I mean, it's not for everybody, obviously. But I mean, this program, it's amazing, and I would recommend it to anybody to have an accountability partner. It might not even be a coach, just a,
Right.
a partner, and your husband or your spouse or your significant other can be your accountability partner. Just somebody who's going to, be there to be your cheerleader, basically, when you're feeling, rough and you can't pull yourself up. It's just good to have somebody there. And that's what I do. I am that for a lot of people who don't have accountability partners, or they don't have significant others, or they don't have somebody that's in their corner.
Right.
And that's kind of that's it. That's me.
Okay, well, and listen, that's awesome, because one of the things that we talk a lot about on the Momcast is that especially when you're trying to do a new thing, it can be kind of hard for the people in your life to like get on board, because they're used to you, kind of being one way. And even though they don't mean to, they might kind of put you like in a box. Mary does this, Dani does this box. And so when you try to kind of do a new thing, even if it's just like, working out, or eating better or whatever, sometimes people, like the people in your life that you would think would be like number one on board with you, they kind of give you resistance because
Yes.
you're changing and they don't like it.
Yes.
And it's not to say they don't love you, it's just you're now kind of stepping outside of the box that that you've been in. So I really like
Absolutely.
that, having a person who, you can be held accountable to, but you don't have any, foregone conclusions about where I can go, or where I should be in my journey. So I like
Right.
that. I like that a lot. Um,
Yes, we like to call that the judgment-free zone.
Right. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And I talk about it a lot because it happens all the time. I have so many moms that tell me, I would love to do this, but my husband is not supportive, or my sister thinks, well, because at one time I dropped the ball in high school, now I'm forever the person that doesn't do stuff, you know what I mean? it's
Right,
it's
right.
hard to sometimes get people, we call it catching the vision.
Yes,
It takes them a minute to catch the vision.
yes,
But I like this
absolutely.
because you have somebody else, so you don't have to count on you don't always have to count on your friends or your family. And I'm a firm believer in being held accountable. And I really, as you were talking, I was like, oh my gosh, I need one of those. Like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
So tell me,
yes.
So tell me about Zen by Design, because when we, full disclosure, when we started talking, and we've been kind of going back and forth for a while now, talking, but you said, "Oh, I'm doing Zen by Design," and I thought, what in the world is being Zen?
Uh,
Because it's one of those things where like we know what it is, but like we don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
yes. Yes. No, no, I get it. So Zen by Design actually has been my baby for a couple of years now. We've had a lot of transitions in my my life, I guess you would say. We've moved several times. My husband's military.
Right.
So we've had a lot of things that kind of come and go. So it has been my baby, but it's been a very long process and it's finally starting to come together. And it kind of happened by accident, but it was a good accident. So it started when my husband was overseas in Kuwait. He was over there for a year, and I was holding the fort down.
Oh boy. And you have four
Yeah,
kids, right?
yeah. Well, four altogether.
Four altogether.
We're blended.
Okay.
But at the time, the boys lived with their mother in Virginia Beach, and the girls were with me.
Okay.
So I.
But you had two girls with you. God bless you.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Two girls. Two girls. Yes.
Woo.
Um, so during this time, I thought it was a great idea to move, I guess, by myself and moved across I basically moved across the country. I moved to another state and I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know how I like, what it was crazy. And I literally just hit that place of I broke down. I had a breakdown. I had a breakdown. And it was so much pressure and stress. And I knew I needed a change. I needed lots of changes in my life because I didn't want to, I was angry all the time. I was sad. I was an emotional roller coaster. And my kids, they didn't deserve that. I mean, they
Right.
didn't help the situation by any means.
Right.
But they didn't deserve, they deserve to have mommy happy.
Right.
And, when you're, it was like being a single mom. When you're a single mom, you got to be mom, dad, you got to be
For
everybody.
everybody.
So
Yeah.
I didn't even have time. Like I didn't even have time to think. I just had to I had to make changes. And that's when I started I like to call it my mindful journey. And I just started researching Buddhism. I started researching like meditation and yoga. Now, I've been doing yoga for a very long time because when I was in my early 20s, I was actually diagnosed with some lower back issues. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing yoga for a very long time, but it just kind of like I didn't do it consistently. Like it was just when my back started, and
Right.
I
As soon
just
as you
I
started feeling better, you would fall
yes.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, okay. See,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
needed an accountability coach too.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
so so basically that's kind of how so I started the website Zen by Design because I wanted to, and it started off as a blog. So I was blogging about my mindful journey, as I would call it, and started posting things about um, just kind of doing different practices, taking care of myself, doing self care. I had never done self care until recently.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know
Mm-hmm.
what self care was. Like, you're like, take care
Like,
of
who
myself a
even, like,
lot.
what does
What?
that even, right? Yeah. And I just read something, it's funny you should say that, because I just read something that was talking about how like millennial moms are like the first mom, like being a mom has always been super hard. Like no one's saying like, oh, all of a sudden it's really difficult, but it's like millennial moms are now the first moms to be like, this is really hard,
Yeah.
help. And so yeah, I think self-care is such a weird thing to kind of wrap our minds around, because no one ever told us that
No.
we needed to take care of ourselves.
Nope.
You know, when you become a mother. Like no one's like, okay, now you need to make sure you take care of you so that you don't lose your mind.
Yes.
It just was kind of always, it's always kind of just been like, go, 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 do. And if you get a moment, I don't know, drink your cold coffee,
Yeah.
um, you know?
Sit in your car. I remember
Right.
doing that when the
Hmm.
baby was still a little bit sitting
Hmm.
in your car for 5 minutes while she was sleeping, because you knew that once you pull the baby out of the car, she was gonna wake
Hmm.
up.
I mean, amen. Like that's, the I call the my Target moments. I would just
Oh
sit
yes.
in the parking lot of Target and play on my phone because I needed him to sleep just a few more minutes.
Correct. Yes.
So I
Yes. And
totally get it. I totally get it.
yes.
And that was my
And that
self-care. Was Target parking lot was my self.
Target parking lot. That's right. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why I called it Zen by Design, because like it's designed for you. Like you design your own Zen. Like you really do. Like
Hmm.
what works for me doesn't work for everybody else. Like not everybody's into, sitting down and, doing meditation or,
Right.
journaling or things like that. And that's like that's the thing that I love about, like, especially, me branching off with the Zen by Design, because I'm now incorporating the accountability coaching in it. um that's why it's like customizable. Like you're creating your own, like, life basically. You're and sometimes it's like rebranding yourself, like,
Right.
you know taking the time to do things for yourself. And it doesn't have to be, like getting a massage or whatnot. It could be going back to school. It could
Right.
be, I mean, it could be reaching out. I mean, it's custom, and that is why I called it Zen by Design, because it is your life, it's your plan, it's your Zen. You create your own Zen every single day. So, I mean, and that's important. You don't need somebody sitting there telling you that you need to do this and this and this to make you happy, because that's I mean, that may not work for you. What
Right.
works for me, I
Right.
mean, now granted, I love sitting in the Target parking lot. I love, Target period.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that is my Zen,
I
but
had to kind of forget Target existed for a minute because the budget was, we didn't have a budget
yeah.
for that. But yeah, no, I
Mhm.
totally get
Yeah,
it.
yes,
Target.
yes, but yeah, but that's the thing. And that's why I love Zen, that this Zen. And like I said, a lot of it's blogging, a lot of it is just, just kind of just posting articles, and it's just a good space for people just to kind of go and just like read. But like I said, now I'm adding the accountability coaching in there, because, part of, part of being Zen, is finding what works for you, and taking the time and actually following through and doing it. And that's what a lot of people have a hard time doing, is
Yes.
actually follow through.
Yeah, follow through is really hard, especially because, I feel like especially as moms, the best laid plans are at about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And when you're sitting up at night and you can't sleep, and then you have all these ideas. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change this. Here it is. And then 6 o'clock rolls around, the kids wake up, and all those plans go bye bye,
Mhm.
because you've got a whole bunch of other things going on, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
Yes.
But it's nice to have somebody that will kind of pull you back, um, into the correct headspace for you to
Hmm.
do all these things. And to make sure that you stay on track.
Yes.
And, so being Zen, I guess, is more, it's kind of, because, you think about like, when you said, Zen, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I see like, the people like in the yoga pose, like going, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, being Zen is not that. I think that's probably the stereotype that
Mhm.
jumps into our heads, but it's not that. It's actually more like a state of being, which is really
Yes.
cool. I really like that. And I think my husband actually would appreciate everything that you're saying as well, because he's very, very much, he went through a Buddhist study phase, we both went to universities. He went to a Catholic university and I went to a Lutheran university, but our universities were very big on teaching us about other, world religions and other thoughts and things like that. So he went through a Buddhist phase. So I'm going to
Yes.
tell him, dude, I learned about being
Yes.
Zen today.
Yeah.
So I feel so cool and knowledgeable now. So tell me, okay, so now the topic of this episode is how to stay Zen over the holidays. So can you give us, us moms, because it's about to get real. We are at T-minus 21 days, 3 weeks from now.
Oh,
A lot
wow.
of us, I know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got you. You're like, oh, wait a minute. I know.
Yeah, like it's coming quick.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming quick.
So 3 weeks from now, we are at Thanksgiving. And then more importantly, 3 weeks and 1 day from now, we are at Black Friday. And and once I feel like, that's the catalyst of like when it all goes, it's fun. And I love being with family and friends and parties and, cooking and eating food that we don't normally eat throughout the year. But it also is super exhausting and can be very, very stressful.
You got it right.
It's a very strange dichotomy of like, you're like, this is the greatest, but help. And
Yes.
so what do you have for us? How do we stay Zen over the holidays? What are some ways that we can kind of, make sure that we are checking back in with ourselves and not, overextending ourselves and not stressing ourselves out and in turn, stressing out our families, because you know how it is, how mom is,
Correct.
that's how
Mhm.
everybody is.
That's because we want to, and that's the thing is we want to make it perfect.
Right.
Like we just have to just get that mindset out of it that it's not going to be perfect.
Right.
We
It's not.
just, it doesn't matter how hard we try, it's not going to be perfect. And the sooner like we as like individuals, moms, women, even dads, husbands, everybody, as soon as we all realize that it's not going to be perfect, I think, and we lower our expectations,
Right.
I feel like,
Do you remember
well,
Saturday Night Live? They had that skit and it was like lowered expectations.
yes,
Like I think that's what we all need to do. We just need to lower
lower
our
our
expectations.
expectations. Yes, yes. So, yeah. Sorry, I gotta get back into
No,
that.
you're good. Sorry, I just thought of that.
I'm thinking about it now too. So, um, so self-care. That's where I'm going to start. Self-care. Take the time, even if it's just, whatever it is that makes you happy. It could be, you know, like I said, going for a walk. It could be calling your best friend. It could be sitting down and drinking a cup of tea. Whatever makes you happy. Take 5 minutes out of your day and do some self-care for yourself, whatever it is. Reading a book, find out what your zen is, and
Right.
and do some self-care. You will, I promise you, if you do it daily, it will become part of your daily routine, and you will love and look forward every day to doing your self-care. And switch it up. Like, don't just have just one. Switch it up. Do all kinds of things. That's you know that's key right there. It's just
Right.
just taking the time and doing it.
And I feel like too, like you said, it can be 5 minutes because, of course you look on social media and they're like self-care Sunday and it's like, candles and bubble baths and you're like, and a mom is sitting there going, when the heck am I supposed to be taking a bubble bath with candles and wine? Like, when is that happening? Please explain
Yeah.
to me the part of my
No.
day when that's
Mm.
happening. So we don't have time
And
for all that.
and
So
and would that be with or without the kid knocking on the door trying to get a
exactly.
snack? No.
Exactly. And especially if you have a child, like I have a son, so, he's knocking on the door. If he gets in, hey, mommy, what's that? Like we have all sorts, nothing about it is relaxing.
No. No, that's why you got to cater it to your own
Right.
needs. Your own needs. Absolutely. And furthermore, who some of us can't, I can't even fit in my bath. My bathtub is
Right.
small. Come
Right.
on.
You're like, where
That's
is
not
this
relaxing being
bathtub?
all cramped up in the bathtub.
Yeah, it's not
If I
cute.
had one of them jet tubs or what, no.
Right. Oh, I
Uh,
know. And you know what? Can I tell you something too? We rented a house before we bought our house. We rented a house. Oh gosh, just probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and it had one of those jet tubs. Girl, I hated that thing. The jets were like hitting me in the legs. It's like, this is not good. And it was taking all my bubble bath because I didn't realize that you're not supposed to put bubble bath in there. So it's taking all my bubble bath. It like blew it up. It looked like that one scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was bad. Like it wasn't relaxing at all. And then I had to clean the jets.
Yeah, no. That was not a Zen moment right
Right. There
there.
was
It
no
was
Zen
not.
there.
No. No, no. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, so let me go to I made a little list of what like
Oh,
the
good.
things that kind of,
Yeah.
so planning. I mean, we can't predict, and plan every moment, but if we plan enough, I guess, start your shopping a little bit earlier, or, plan, just do some kind of planning. It really does. I mean, being organized, and that might be the military coming out of me,
Mm-hmm.
being structured and, like organized, it does. It gives you a sense of complete put togetherness, and sometimes that's what you need is, and if you have a plan of, okay, I'm going to put, x money aside so that I can get gifts, or x money aside so I can go travel here for, this or that, whatever it is. Planning, just it's simple
Right.
as that. Just making a list and writing down things that, you need to do, over the next couple of months, so that it doesn't hit you all on December 24th.
Right. Yes. Yes. That is
Um,
definitely,
yes.
yeah.
And let's talk about delegating. Why?
Mm.
I mean, why? Why do moms feel like, and dads too, feel like we got to take on the world? How about we can both take on the world together? Or maybe the kids can help out a little bit, delegate it, delegate your tasks or whatnot. Why do we feel the need that we have to put this huge feast on the table for our whole family, and we have to do it by ourselves? Why not make it a potluck style, or if
That is
somebody makes
that
something
is
really good?
that is
I
great.
don't
I
know.
love that idea of doing a potluck, because yeah, it's a lot. And too, now you have a lot of dietary, we have a lot of dietary, like in my family, we have tons of dietary restrictions. We've got allergies, we've got gluten free, we've got dairy free, we've got just don't like textures. We've got, so like when you're cooking this humongous meal, not only are you cooking this meal that's taking up, a lot of time, you're trying to think about something that everybody can eat. Um, and it's exhausting.
Mm,
And you might not even know how
yes.
to make some of the stuff
No.
that they
No.
like, why don't you bring it? Why don't you bring what you would like to eat?
Yeah. And people are like, and yeah, it might sound, but some people would rather actually prepare their own food if
Yes.
they have those kind of restrictions, So, I mean, like I said, again, not for everybody. Some people enjoy cooking in the kitchen or whatnot, and, making a feast for their whole family. Some people do that. Majority of the people get stressed out
Right.
over preparing the meal, and food in general, so I mean, take as much stress off your plate as you possibly can. That's kind of like the key right here. You will be in a very zen state, we'll put it that way, if you eliminate some of the stresses that are in your life.
Right.
And the holidays are already stressful as it is, which will leave me into my next one, which is, it is okay to say no.
Mm-hmm.
It really is okay to say no. You don't have to travel all over the country to appease everybody else. You need to take care of your family. You need to take care of yourself. If you want to stay back, yeah, it's going to hurt feelings or whatnot. But at the end of the day, you know, it's about you. Like, it really is. And I think people lose that. Like, they're so worried about making everybody else happy that they don't make themselves happy. And it's okay to say no. It's okay
Right.
to say, when your mother, and now granted, you might make some enemies.
Right. And listen, you just gotta, but they'll get over it. Like they really will.
Yes, they
Um,
really do.
and yeah, we did that. We made a declaration. when my son was born, because he was born in October. And so he was still pretty close to being a newborn by Christmas. And everybody wanted to spend Christmas with him. And, we lived about an hour from my family and about 2.5 at the time hours from my husband's family. And we just said, well, guess what? We will be here in Valparaiso, Indiana. And if you would like to see your grandchild, come on down, but we just can't at this point in our lives pack up all his stuff, spend the night. I was still nursing. Like, it was just a lot. It was too much. And we just kind of had to put our foot down.
Yes.
And so, we had people who were like, well, wait a minute, what, but I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and like I said, and the moment that you just release that, that fear of I can tell them no, it's like a weight lifted off your shoulder, knowing
Right.
that you don't have to, go through all of the stress of because traveling is one of the biggest stressors over the holidays.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it's traveling.
By far.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could tell you some stories of even before we had him, just trying to get to, everybody's house for everything.
Yes.
I think we worked out a pretty good system now. We do every other Thanksgiving. So like this year, it's my family's Thanksgiving on actual Thanksgiving Day. And then we have like another Thanksgiving with the other side, like a smaller version on the weekend.
Okay.
So we kind of, switch off. And then now Christmas, we'll spend that with his family since we spent Thanksgiving with my family. But then next year it'll be switched the other way around. So that's kind
See,
of
you got a
how.
system in
Right.
place.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we have a system, and then this
Very
allows, because my husband is one of 4, so this allows the other siblings and their spouses, they kind of do the same thing, so okay, we're all like, okay, it's the off year, so
Yeah.
we all kind of worked out a humongous family system, but and please do it. Please
Yeah.
do that. It's a weird conversation because we had to have it, a few years ago, and we were the first ones that had, children. So we were kind of the other people didn't really get it because they didn't have their kids yet. So when we kind of had to put our foot down, everybody was acting like we were horrible people.
Right.
Um,
How dare you?
yeah, how dare you? But I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. So this is what we're doing.
This is yeah.
So I think it's a hard conversation, like you said, and some people won't get it, but just when they have the kids and when they have other responsibilities, all of a sudden things will become crystal clear and you will be vindicated.
Yes. Correct. It'll be like an aha moment.
Yes,
Like ah.
yes, definitely.
Yes, correct. Yes. So I think I guess like my way of closing it, I guess, would be, you know, it, it is it's a very stressful time. It is a very, very stressful time. But if you just find things that you like to do to kind of keep your balance, balance is the word that I love to use. Like you need to find your balance. Like that's what the Zen to me, like finding my Zen is balance. If you find your balance of like how you're going to, plan things out, how you're going to, take care of yourself, take care of your family, like it's all about just creating the balance that you need in your life. And I think, if you don't veer off from, and that's your routines, that's very important because you've worked very hard. Like if you're one of those like people that is like, I'm going to stick to my diet, I'm going to stick to my diet, but then Thanksgiving rolls around and you're like, I'm going to eat everything on this table, and
Right.
then you just fall off the wagon, and then you're just kind of like, and then you feel crummy, and you
Right.
just feel bad,
Right.
But I mean, yeah, okay, eat everything on the table, but the next day, get back out on the treadmill or
Right.
do
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you're, just be consistent with what you normally do, because just because it's the holiday season doesn't necessarily mean that you have to change your whole, and we don't like change as
Right.
people. We don't like change. Don't change it. It doesn't need to be changed. Just incorporate some things into it that create the balance that you need in your
And
life.
that's really good. I like that. You know, I agree with you 100 and I don't even know 200%. We'll go with 200%. I agree with you. We feel like it's the holidays, so I gotta do la 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 la, and then we end up, we hit January, and we're kind of like, ugh, what just happened? You don't feel good because you've been eating a lot of stuff that you don't normally eat. And it just kind of hits you hard when you're coming into the new year, which is why you see all these, the resolutions that, of course, people fall off of.
Yeah, within the first 30 days normally.
Right. Yeah. And too, it's funny because I'm a dancer. I've been dancing my entire life, and I love fitness. And so I've been a gym person, since I was in college. Since I turned 18, I could go to the gym. And so I always laugh in January, because I kind of take time off in January because I give all the all the resolutioners. I'm like, you guys get it out of your system. I'll be back.
Right.
Like, I can't get a treadmill because all these people are here. So
people are like, yes,
them.
yes.
And then I'll go back in February and it's crickets again. And I'm like, okay, where are my normal people? Hi. Yes. Hey guys, that was weird.
Yes. Yes. And that's when normally my business is booming.
Oh, I'm sure. And that's,
so thank you for that.
Yeah. So no, listen, find Mary, but that's what you need, Mary, so that in January, when you are like, yeah, and then by January 15th, when you were like, that's why you need Mary.
That's right. See, not only can I create your Zen lifestyle, but I can also coach you to be consistent with your lifestyle.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
All the above.
Yes. And I think that is so important because literally that's what happens a lot of times is like you're gung-ho and then you're not.
Yeah.
And there's usually no one there to, kind of be like, hey, remember when you said, remember this was your idea.
Yes.
So I think that's awesome. I love that idea of balance. And, I thank you for coming on, for taking the time today. I just want to tell everybody who's listening that, Mary this is a complete, like, she volunteered to do this. She volunteered to share her knowledge with you all today. So I, take a moment to check out her social media and her website. She has zenbydesign.biz, which is her website. That's her baby that she's been working on. But you can also find her on Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/zenbydesign82, or you could go to Instagram and you just go to instagram.com/zen_by_design. She is there. Check her out. And I'm going to throw all those links up on all the pages, on Taking Back You, on DaniCarterIdens.com. You'll be seeing a lot of her. So if you're like, oh, wait, what did she say? What's going on? Where can I find her? You'll be able to find all those links everywhere. And I think I can't remember, did you say you wanted to do a blog post as well?
Absolutely.
Yes. So she's also going to do a blog post. So be looking for that as well. We're going to get her on the website so that you can read because sometimes people, some people are listeners, but some people are readers. They need to kind of see it. And so I'm really excited about that. And you know what, Mary, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and for dropping some knowledge. I love knowledge. I'm a teacher. My husband's a teacher. We love teaching.
Knowledge is power. That's
yes,
great.
It is. Knowledge is power. And so that's what, I think what you're doing is amazing. And I really, really, really hope that people reach out to you and, get some accountability, and just check out all of her stuff. I've looked at it. I'm in. So for what it's worth, I think that you're fabulous. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me. I like I said, it's especially when you work from home, like being able to actually talk to another person.
Right. I know, right? I know. It's lonely here.
Yes.
you know, and I think too, what I love is that we're seeing the beginning for you.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of times we see, we see chapter 8, but we don't see chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 when you're getting started. And so a lot of times we feel like, oh, we can't start something. I can't do that. Look at her. She's all the way over there. But we forget that, like, hey, you got to start.
Got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere. So I
That's
really
right.
appreciate you kind of coming in while you're in this, state of transition, and you're like really getting into your Zen by Design. I really love that we're able to see you so that we can say we knew you when,
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you again for having me. And I enjoy listening and reading everything with you. I have for a while. So just thanks again. And,
Thank you.
I appreciate like everything that you do for the moms out there, us Target loving moms, I appreciate it.
Oh, the Targets.
The
See, in
Target.
Illinois, where I'm from, we put an S on every store. So we say like the Targets, which my husband's from the South. And so he does not understand any of that. I'm like, I'm going to the Targets. And he's like, well, how many are there?
Yeah. How many are you going to?
I'm like, well, the one, the Targets.
The one.
No.
Oh man, that's a whole different story. The North
Right.
and the yeah, that's a whole different
That is, yeah.
dynamic right there.
Oh,
Bless your heart. I'm gonna say it just like that.
yeah,
Bless your
right.
heart.
Exactly. I know. I know what that means because my husband's from the South. No.
Oh, that's good. Oh, love it.
All right, Mary. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, if you want to learn more about Mary, check out the notes for this episode. I will have all of her links in there. And yeah, have a wonderful week. Mary, you have a great week too.
Thank
And
you.
have a great holiday season if I don't talk to you before it's going to get wild. But
Right.
hopefully we will not get wild. We will know what to do, and we will know how to handle this. And I'm already concocting my potluck schemes as you were talking. I'm already trying to figure out how to get out of cooking. No.
Good job. Everybody else is too. You know it.
Yeah, I'll admit it. I'll be the first one. So, all right, Mary. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you have a great week, okay?
You too.
All righty. Bye.
All righty. Bye.
Isn't she awesome, you guys? I just love everything that she says. And honestly, I think Mary is onto something. We definitely need somebody with us to make sure that we are being held accountable and that the decisions that we make and the things that we want to do and our goals that we have, we need somebody to make sure that we're doing them. So listen, if you want to know more about Mary, if you want to know more about what Mary does about Zen by Design, you can go to zenbydesign.biz. I know I said this in the episode, but I want to make sure that you have this information so that you can go check her out. Check her out on Facebook at Zen by Design 82 at Facebook. You can just do like facebook.com/Zen by Design 82. And you can also check her out on Instagram at zen_by_design. So you can, again, Instagram.com/zen_by_design. Mary is great. We will be hearing much more from her in the coming weeks. I'd love to have her come back on in January to talk about, all our resolutions. We laughed about it during the episode, but I think that it would be a great resource for that too. So stay tuned. Listen, I say this every single week because I mean it every single week. Please subscribe to this podcast. And if you know of a mom, a millennial mama who's in the thick of things, who needs to hear the good word, who needs to be supported by other moms and knows that we all walk alongside her, please share this podcast with her. If you want more information about Taking Back You and the Taking Back You Momcast, you can visit us on takingbackyou.com. And like always, I am Dani Carter-Iddens. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. For more information on Taking Back You and the Taking Back You Momcast, visit us at takingbackyou.com. From there, you'll be able to follow us on social media, listen to past episodes, and learn all about the mission of Taking Back You. Be sure to subscribe to get future episodes. And from all of us at Taking Back You, thank you so much for your support. Hi, I'm Dani Carter-Iddens, creator of Taking Back You. My vision for Taking Back You was simple. I wanted to create a safe place for mamas to focus on the dreams that have been placed on their hearts, where they could walk alongside other mamas who get and give advice on how to do this mom thing. I want to tell mamas what I wish someone had told me, and to build a community of mothers who aren't afraid to reach for the stars, even while holding their children in their arms. Want to learn more? Visit TakingBackYou.com, because at Taking Back You, we know happy moms raise happy kids.